So I'm discovering these really beautiful pink flowers, which we're definitely going to put in today's plein air painting. Okay, so just coming in a little bit. It's pretty overgrown, but we can still see the path pretty well. It's cooling off this week, so there's bugs, but they're bees. They're the good bugs. I don't have so many of the mosquitoes out and about. The water is moving. It is just gorgeous out there today. It is absolutely beautiful. We're gonna have a great day evening painting. Okay, so I'm gonna set up here. It's a really nice area. You can hear those beautiful birds. It's a little bit messy, but that's okay. And we have some of those gorgeous pink flowers right around there. So we're just gonna have fun painting some blossoms tonight. Okay, we are gonna go ahead and start painting. You can see with the tree, I had actually done a different one beforehand. And this one, my drawing changed, but this is a tree right here. Isn't that gorgeous? And see all those ridges in it. We're gonna see if we can emulate that just a bit. Also, I don't know if you noticed that red in the tree. It's really lovely, so we're gonna emulate that, but I'm gonna just start out with burnt sienna, and I'm not gonna go all the way down. I don't wanna color it in. I want to lay down different colors. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and just start adding in colors. Actually, I need to put the sky in too. We're looking out over the river, but to try to get the river and the pond and the sky in, it was going to be too much. So we're gonna just do one. I'm coming over here, adding in some of the other leaves and twigs around. Okay, let's go ahead and add in the sky. I've got a cobalt blue that I'm using, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just going to do it rather lightly. I don't want it too intense because it's a pretty, the sky is quite light today. I'm even gonna add just a hint of phthalo, just a little bit. And then I am gonna take my towel, and I'm just going to get that a tad bit wet, and we're just going to soften that. I'm softening the brown too, which is just fine. I just don't want a lot of smears in there. I want to get the background on, but not too heavy, because this is going to be pretty light. I did a time lapse of the other one, and I hadn't made the tree quite so prominent, so that's going to change things a little bit. But that is the joy of painting out in the air, and definitely the sky is darker as it is going higher up on the horizon. So I'm going to water this down a bit and making sure we have a bit of that gradient as well. I'm going to come down here with just a really light wash and just moving down here. I want to hit the horizon but keep it nice and light. Very, very light. Okay. I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to add a little bit more of our brown onto the tree. And I'm actually going to add some blue. That was I used for the sky. I'm going to add that to the brown and start to create some of that sense of ridges. And it is windy this evening. We have a wind coming in, so I'm hoping you can still hear me. And I'm so sorry if my hair is getting in the way. I'm trying to stay out of the camera. All right, I'm just gonna go right down here like that. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna want to come back over that with some more brown. And I'm actually running out of the brown on my palette. Oh my. See, this is the challenges that you run into when you're painting not in your controlled environment. I'm gonna get the path there just a little bit, but it's also the beauty, right? Doing something a little bit different. Okay, and I see a lot of yellow in the path. I'm just gonna move that around here. and we're gonna let that go. I'm gonna start picking up some of the yellow too and start laying that down. I see a lot of yellow in the leaves, especially over to my right. So I'm gonna just be tapping those in. They're just, especially as the wind is blowing through them, I see a lot of different yellow, green colors. So I'm gonna lay that down, and I know that almost starts to look like a fall painting, but don't worry. We're gonna start laying down the green. These are some pretty big leaves too. And you can start seeing here, we're just getting really nice variation of greens here. We're not gonna have yellow leaves really. This is a cadmium yellow that was on my palette, and it blends really nicely with the green. And so I'm working my way around here, looking at where the leaves are coming out, and it is just a wildly wooded area. So everything is very wild. This is really a nature trail in that there's not really a lot of maintenance done on the actual trail. They really let everything grow. They'll give it a mow down in the summertime if everything really starts to grow, just to help prevent fires or the likelihood of fires. Okay, I'm going to continue on here. I have some of the leaves coming up over the tree branch as a bush is just sticking out. So I'm going to go ahead and add in some of those. I'm going to add in a little bit of yellow here, mixing a little bit of yellow and green. I'm going to lay that down here. I see some purple flowers, but I'm going to let the green dry just a little bit before we add in those flowers. Okay, now I am going to come back with the brown. I wanted to get those leaves in before I finished up the trunk of the tree. Otherwise, I would have painted the whole thing brown, because as you can see where I was sketching, that's how it was going. And really, you know what, that is all the brown I have. So I didn't talk about this. I just created a video, it's not out yet, of my essentials for for going on plein air, painting out in the open. I didn't mention the Neo colors, but I do keep these on me. They're not essential, but they're great to have. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna add in some additional, those ridges. I'm kind of looking at it, and some of them are kind of thick. It's almost like this beautiful artwork right on the tree. So I'm just gonna add that in over here. And then above, where I see the shadowing too, in this one, a little bit lighter right here, just down here. And then when I add the water, you're gonna see how it just pops. And again, I'm looking, there's some cracks here. I was thinking about if you ever took the class or had the book Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, Betty Edwards, the author, really emphasizes the importance of drawing what you actually see, not what you think you're seeing. Because so often we get the idea of what a tree should look like or what a flower should look like. And then you come out here and you start seeing what they really look like. But what are the real colors? Not the colors we think, like the tree, for example. I can see that reddish color, that pink. So I'm gonna definitely add in just a hint of pink as I go over this brown. It's not going to look pink, but just to blend it in to get that ruddiness of the tree. It's so interesting what's actually on there, the different colors, and a little bit of pink up here, and just to create that emphasis. Moving this down, that's where it's branching off a bit. I'm going to pull up some more of that blue, and I'm going to also lay that down as well, just a little bit. Making my way down the tree here, pulling this down in here, seeing if we can get to blend a little bit more. That looks really good. Okay, and this is going to be loose. This is definitely going to be very, very loose. That's our intention with this. I can always come back in the studio, add in some more details, add in some more pen work. Okay, I'm gonna just leave that for now. I have this down here. This was another branch coming off another tree that was almost coming out beyond it's planted on the side of the hill going down to the water. I'm going to go ahead and again painting what I see, which is lots of leaves and they're rather scattered. Not what I think is there, what is actually there. Up here, it's almost like a little tuft of hair, but it's a tuft of leaves. We've got a stray branch over here. And then coming down here. And remember, this is such a learning experience of just learning to see, to paint quickly, just kind of getting the essence of what we're seeing. Definitely I'm going to come back and do some more drawing to fill in some of those details. I don't see a lot of yellow as the shadows are starting to emerge as the sun's starting to set, so I'm not going to do any yellow down there. I am going to add some blue where I see some differences in colors here. And I can come also back with the neolite and then just add in where I'm seeing some additional branches, where I saw that come up right there. Okay, we've got that now. Now let's go ahead, I'm going to add my pink flowers down here. Those are the beautiful pink flowers that are around the tree. I can see them popping up, so I'm going to lay down that initial color. They're just super tiny, they're not very big. Not big at all. And I'm going to have a couple over here as well, peeking out. Okay, now I'm going to grab that smaller brush, and you can see even as the shadows of the trees are starting to fall. I want to try not to get shadows on the art or on the paper. Okay, and I'm just going to come down here. There's a lot of these really gracious, kind of elegant reeds, not reeds, they're greenery of some sort, right up against, looking at over the water. I'm going to add those in. There's definitely things over here. I see a plant sprouting things down here. Just quick sketches now. It's about, I think it's about 6:30 in the evening, maybe a little bit later as I'm painting this. Painting in some of those leaves around the flowers. And there's a lot of different things around the actual tree trunk too. Oh, but I forgot a flower. So if I paint some of that growth right down here, I don't want to mess it up and get it into the tree, the brown. Definitely have to get some additional color here, some shadowing. Everything is just blowing, blowing, blowing in the wind. See if I can add some definition to these leaves down here, right? Right in here. Some more of the beautiful grass that's just growing all around the tree trunk and over here as well. Adding some of the details of these leaves. This is the leaves on the pink flowers. It's like almost, it's just hundreds and hundreds of leaves. So let's see if I can emulate those a little bit, mimic them, and they're sticking out in different areas. And I can see a little bit of yellow in there too, so I'm going to drop in just a tad bit of yellow onto these leaves. And I'm just really enjoying the evening here, enjoying the challenge of painting and not worried about the outcome of how well or not well it looks. Okay, and we're starting to finish up. I want to add in again a little bit more detail. This guy over here. And I have some leaves right in here that are coming off that tree. So I'm gonna add in, and these are a little bit closer to me. And they were some of the more yellow. They had the yellow green, so I wanna add those in. We're gonna add the green in too. And you can just really start to see this all kind of come together. A little bit thicker up here. There's just a lot of leaves, so I want to see if I can create that sense of thickness. Now another option too, if you just think this is just too much out of control, you can take some really good pictures, really do a photograph study, lots of pictures. I'd encourage you to print them out so you're not flipping through your phone, maybe even enlarge them, and then bring those back and use those to paint this scene outside. And I just think I just painted a bug. Goodness, I think the bug got onto the water. Sorry, bug. I am so sorry. Well, those are the creative things that happen when you're painting plain air. Sometimes the bugs get into the painting. Okay, so a little bit of leaves up here as I see them moving off the tree. Okay, that looks good. Definitely gonna come back. So to what you see, I should have some blue back there, right? Just really fair blue, like not a lot, but even just right in here to keep that continuity. I don't want it to hit the green because then we're gonna get smeared. Oh, and I just put in the purple, so we'll just add in here and then a little bit back here, super light. Okay, that looks good. I'm just gonna finish up down here where that trail continues on all the way here. A little bit of yellow. See if I can get a little bit more brown. I did really use the end of that tonight. There we go. Okay, all right, we'll take it back to the studio and work on a little bit, but that looks lovely.